Welcome to the channel Indian Famous Hindu Temples. Today we are presenting another famous temple, which is Tirupati Balaji, which is also known as Shree Venkateshwara Swamy Vaari, situated at Tirumala, Tirupati, in Andhra Pradesh, India. Tirumala Tirupati Balaji Temple or Shree Venkateshwara Swamy Temple. S. Modesti, Tirumala, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh 517504. The Hindu temple known as Shree Venkateshwara Swamy Vaari Temple can be found in the hill town of Tirumala at Tirupati, which is in the district of Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh, India. Venkateswara, an incarnation of Vishnu, is the subject of the temple's dedication. It is believed that Venkateswara came to earth to save humanity from the difficulties of Kali Yuga. As a result, Kaliyuga Vaikuntha is also the name of the location, and Kaliyuga Prathyaksha Daivam is the name given to the Lord here. Other names for the temple include the Tirumala Temple, the Tirupati Temple, and the Tirupati Balaji Temple. There are a variety of other names for Venkateswara, Srinivasa, Balaji, and Govinda. The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, TTD, which is run by the Andhra Pradesh government, is in charge of the temple. The Andhra Pradesh government selects TTD's leader. The Andhra Pradesh government uses the money from this shrine. The Seshakalam Hills include the Tirumala Hills. The hills have 7 peaks that stand meters, 2,799 feet, above sea level and represent Adisesha's 7 heads. The temple is situated on the southern banks of Sri Swami Pushkarini, a sacred water tank, on the 7th peak, Venkatadri. As a result, the temple is also called the Temple of 7 Hills. The town of Tirumala is about 10.33 square miles, 26.75 square kilometers, in size. The South Indian architecture that the temple was built in is thought to have started around 300 CE. Ananda Nilayam is the name of the Sanctum Sanctorum's Garbhagriha that in Garbhagriha, Venkateswara, the deity in charge, is standing with his back to the east. The temple worships the Vaikhanasa Agama tradition. The temple is listed as the 75th Divya Desam and is one of the 8 Vishnu Swayambhu Kshetras. 2 modern Q-complex buildings, the Tarragona Vengamamba Anaprasadam complex, which provides free meals to pilgrims, Hare Tantra buildings, and several places for pilgrims to stay are on the temple grounds. In terms of donations and wealth, it is one of the world's wealthiest temples. The Lord's appearance in Tirumala is the subject of numerous legends. It is believed that the temple has a murti of Venkateswara that will remain there throughout the current Kali Yuga, according to one legend. The legend about the temple. After losing a battle with Vayu, Adisesha lived in Seshakalam Hills during the Dvapara Yuga. The Puranas consider Tirumala to be the Adivaraha Kshetra. Adivaraha lived on this hill after defeating Hiranyaksha. Venkatachla Mahatyam is the generally acknowledged legend over Tirumala sanctuary. During the Kali Yuga, Narada instructed some sages who were participating in yajna to select one of the Trimurtis, Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva, to receive the yajna's fruits. The trinity was put to the test by Bhrigu. The wise man with an extra eye on the sole of his foot visited Shiva and Brahma without being noticed. He wished that Shiva be worshipped as a lingam and Brahma not be worshipped. Finally, he visited Vishnu, and the god acts as though he didn't notice Bhrigu. Sage Bhrigu kicked Vishnu in the chest out of anger over this, but Vishnu did not react and instead made an apology to the sage by massaging his feet. He squashed the additional eye in Bhrigu's foot sole during this action. However, since Vishnu's chest was considered Lakshmi's residence, Vakshasthala, and Bhrigu kicked it, Lakshmi considers it an insult. After that, she left Vaikuntha and went to Kolhapur on earth, where she started meditating. As Srinivasa, Vishnu assumed human form, left Vaikuntha in search of Lakshmi, arrived at the Seshakalam Hills in Tirumala, and began meditating there. Lakshmi contacted Shiva and Brahma after learning of Srinivasa's condition. After that, Shiva and Brahma changed into a cow and a calf, and Lakshmi gave the cow and calf to the Chola king who was in charge of the Tirumala hills at the time. Srinivasa received milk every day from the cow while it was taken for grazing. A cowherd noticed this one day and tried to beat the cow with his staff, but Srinivasa took the beating. Srinivasa was enraged by this, so he cursed the Chola king to become a demon because the Dharma says that kings should bear the consequences of sins committed by servants, Shudras. After the king begged for mercy, Srinivasa told him that the king should become Akasharaja and get married to Srinivasa with his daughter Padmavati. Srinivasa spent some time at Vakula Devi, his foster mother, in the Tirumala hills. The Chola king reincarnated as Akasharaja following the curse, having a daughter named Padmavati in the Padma Pushkarini in Andhra Pradesh's Tirukhanar. Srinivasa returned to the Tirumala hills after getting married to Padmavati at Narayanavanam, which is now in Andhra Pradesh. Goddess Lakshmi went to the Tirumala hills to inquire about Srinivasa after learning that he had married Padmavati. When Srinivasa was confronted by Lakshmi and Padmavati, he turned it into stone because he could not bear the argument between Lakshmi and Padmavati. Brahma and Shiva showed up before the confounded sovereigns and make sense of the fundamental reason behind this, the masters craving to be on the seven slopes for the liberation of humankind from the unending inconveniences of Kali Yuga. Lakshmi and Padmavati, two goddesses, also transform into stone deities to express their wish to be always present. Padmavati rests on the right side of his chest while Lakshmi stays with him on the left side of his chest. The temple's history. History of the Middle Ages. In the year 966 CE, Pallava Queen Samavai made the first known endowment. She gave away a lot of jewels and 2 parcels of land, one of 10 acres and the other of 13 acres, and ordered that the money from those parcels be used to celebrate major festivals in the temple. Venkateswara was adored by the Pallava, 9th century, Chola, 10th century, and Vijayanagara Pradhans, 14th and 15th centuries, dynasties. The majority of the temple's current wealth and size came from donations of diamonds and gold made during the Vijayanagara Empire, which is now the state of Karnataka. Vijayanagara Emperor Krishnadevaraya frequented the temple as a donor and visitor in the 16th century. The Ananda Nilayam, inner shrine, roofing was gilded thanks to his donations of gold and jewels. Krishnadevaraya erected his statue in the temple on January 2, 1517. Following the fall of the Vijayanagara Empire, rulers of states like the Kingdom of Mysore and the Gudval Samsthanam visited the temple as pilgrims and contributed ornaments and valuables. Raghojee I Bhosle, a Maratha general who died in 1755, visited the temple and established a permanent administration for the temple's worship. Icons from Srirangapatnam's Ranganatha temple were brought to this temple for safekeeping between 1320 and 1369 CE. The visits of Ramanujakarya. Ramanujakarya paid for 3 trips to Tirupati during the 11th and 12th centuries. The first time, he studied the esoteric meaning of the Ramayana for a year with his uncle, Tirumalai Nambi. His second visit was to settle a dispute about the nature of the image in the Tirumala Temple Saivites Vaishnavites. The Acharya laid the groundwork for the current town of Tirupati and installed an image of Govindaraja during his most recent visit when he was 102 years old. According to the Vaikhanasa Agama tradition, Ramanuj simplified the rituals at Tirumala Temple and introduced the recitation of Nalayira Divya Prabhandiham in 1119 AD. He also established the Tirupati Gr Mutt with the help of Tirumalai and Nanthalwar to oversee the temple rituals and institutionalize service to the Lord. To this day, the GRs make certain that Ramanuja's rituals are followed. History today. The temple fell under Golconda's control in July 1656, when the Vijayanagara Empire ended, and it remained under the Nawab of Karnatak's control until 1801 CE. The East India Company took over the management of the temple when the British arrived at the beginning of the 19th century. The East India Company gave the temple special status and did not interfere with its activities of the temple. Regulation 7 of 1817, enacted by the Madras government, transferred ownership of the temple to the Board of Revenue through the North Arcot District Collector. Mr. Bruce, who was the East India Company's commissioner for the Chittoor district at the time, created what is known as Bruce's Code, which set guidelines for how temples should be run. The temple was given 8,000 yen by Mir Osman Ali Khan, Hyderabad's 7th Nizam. The administration of the temple and other temples in Tirupati was handed over to Mahants of Hatharamji Muth in 1843 by the East India Company, who acted as Vikaranakartas. Until the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams was established in 1933 as a result of the TTD Act, it was ruled by Mahants for 6 generations. The Madras Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Act of 1951 took the place of the 1933 Act. With the passage of the Andhra Pradesh Charitable and Hindu Religious Institutions and Endowments Act in 1966, the temple was once more placed under the direct supervision of the Andhra Pradesh State Endowments Department. The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams Act of 1979 reversed the 1966 law and gave temple administration to a committee with an executive officer, chairman, and 2 other members chosen by the government of Andhra Pradesh. The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, TTD, which is run by the Andhra Pradesh government, is in charge of running the temple. The Andhra Pradesh government selects TTD's leader. The Andhra Pradesh government uses the money from this shrine. Inscriptions in Kannada, Sanskrit, Tamil, and Telugu number as many as 640 on the temple. The Telugu Sankirtanas of Talapaka Animakarya and his ilk are written on approximately 3,000 copper plates in a one-of-a-kind collection. In addition to its significance for musicologists, this collection serves as a valuable source of information for a historical linguist studying Telugu. Temple Management. The trust board that oversees and manages Tirumala Venkateswara Temple's operations is Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, TTD. Through the passage of acts, its board of trustees has grown from 5 members in 1951 to 18 members in 2015. An executive officer who is appointed by the government of Andhra Pradesh is in charge of TTD's day-to-day operations and management. Every day, approximately 75,000 pilgrims visit the temple. Charitable trusts are run by the annual budget, which is estimated to be 2,530.10 Indian rupees crores for the financial year 2015-16. The budget and donations from devotees provide the funds for these trusts. In 2008, the company is expected to earn 10 billion Indian rupees annually. The majority of its revenue comes from donations to Shree Vaari Hundi. Millions of rupees are given to the TTD by devotees. The temple's welfare organization, TTD, manages several charitable trusts with money from the budget and donations from devotees. The architecture of the temple. Prakarams and dwarams. From the outside, 3 dwarams, entrances, lead to Garbhagriha. The first entrance is through the Maha Prakaram, or outer compound wall, which is also known as the Mahadwaram or Padakavali. Over this Mahadwaram is a 50-foot, 5-story Gopuram, temple tower, with 7 kalasams at its apex. The second entrance, also known as Nadamapadakavali or Vendi Vakili, is through Sampanji Prakaram, or the inner compound wall. Over Vendi Vakili, a 3-story Gopuram with 7 kalasams at its apex is built. The golden entrance, or Bangaru Vakili, is the third entrance into Garbhagriha. On either side of this door, there are 2 tall copper images of the Dwarpalakas Jaya Vijaya. Gold gilt plates depicting Vishnu's Dasavatharam cover the thick wooden door. Pradakshinams. Pradakshinam is the circumambulation of the sanctum sanctorum in the temple or deities. The temple has 2 ways to circumambulate. The first is the region between Sampanji Prakaram and Mahaprakaram. There are numerous mandapas, Dwajastambam, Balapidam, Kshetrapalika Sila, and Prasadam distribution areas on this path, which is known as Sampanji Pradakshinam. The second Pradakshinam, the Vimana Pradakshinam, goes around Ananda Nilayam Vimanam. Ankurarpana Mandapam, Potu, Main Kitchen, Bangar Bhavi, Golden Well, Yagasala, Nanala, Coins and Notes, Parkamani, Almira of Sandal Paste, Chandanapu Era, cell of records, Sundhi Bashya Karalu, Lord's Hundi, and the seat of Vishwaksena are among the sub-shrines on this path. Ananda Nilayam Vimanam and Garbhagriha is the sanctum sanctorum, where Venkateswara, the principal deity, and other minor deities reside. Garbhagriha is reached via the golden entrance. Between Bangarivakili and Garbhagriha, 2 more doors exist. The deity is standing with 4 hands in various positions, 2 of which are holding the Shankha and Sudarshana chakras, 1 of which is in the Virata position and resting over the thigh. Precious ornaments embellish the deity. Goddess Padmavati and Goddess Lakshmi are depicted on the deity's right and left chests, respectively. Beyond Kulsakarapati, the Garbhagriha is off-limits to pilgrims. The most important gopuram constructed over Garbhagriha is Ananda Nilayam Vimanam. This is a 3-celebrated gopuram and has a solitary kalasam at its pinnacle. It has a golden vase and gilt copper plates covering it. This gopuram is adorned with numerous carvings of gods and deities. Vimana Venkateswara, a deity of Venkateswara on this gopuram, is thought to be a copy of the deity inside Garbhagriha. Temple deities include: the temple is headed by Venkateswara, an image of Vishnu. It is accepted that the Mulavirat is Swayambhu, self-showed. A replica of the Garbhagriha in Tirumala's Venkateswara temple with Sridevi, Bhadevi, and Malayappa Swami on the left, Lord Venkateswara main deity, Dhruva Bairam, in the center, Bhoga Srimavasa in the center bottom, Yugra Srimavasa, Kaluva Srimavasa, Sita, Lakshmana, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna. According to the Vaikhanasa Agamas, Venkateswara is portrayed by 5 Bairams, one of which is the Mulavirat. These Bairams are referred to as Pancha Baramulut together. Pancha means 5, Bairam means God. Dhruva Bairam, Mulavar, Kautika Bairam, Snapana Bairam, Utsava Bairam, and Bali Bairam are the 5 deities. Under Ananda Nilayam Vimanam, all of the Pancha beings are placed in the Garbhagriha. Mulavirat or Dhruva Bairam. The Mulavirat of Venkateswara is depicted standing on a lotus base in the center of the Garbhagriha under the Ananda Nilayam Vimana. 2 of his arms are holding Shankha and Chakra, while the other 2 are in Virata and Kati positions. The Vaishnavite Nama, Makra Kundalas, Nagbarna, Makara Kanthi, Saligrama Haram, and Lakshmi Haram are all adorned by this deity, who is regarded as the primary source of energy for the temple. As Vyuha Lakshmi, Lakshmi, Venkateswara's consort, wears the Mulavirat's chest. Bhoga Srimavasa, also known as Kautika Bairam, is a small silver deity that is 1 foot, 0.3 m, tall. The Pallava queen Samavai gave it to the temple in 614 AD so that it could be used for festivals. Bhoga Srimavasa is always near Mulavirat's left foot and always has a holy Sambandha Krocha that connects him to the main deity. Bhoga Srimavasa is the name given to this deity because it accords with Mulavar's numerous daily sevas, pleasures. Bhoga refers to pleasure. Every day, this deity receives Ekanta Seva, and on Wednesdays, it receives Sahasra Kalasabhashikam. Yugra Srimavasa, also known as Snapana Bairam, is a deity who stands for the terrifying, Telugu. Yugra refers to the enraged side of Lord Venkateswara. The Malayappa Swami deity took its place as the primary processional deity in 1330 CE. Yugra Srimavasa only leaves the sanctum sanctorum on 1 day per year in a procession, before dawn on Kaushika Dwadasi. On behalf of Mulavirat, this deity receives daily Abhishekam, giving it the name Snapana Bairam, Sanskrit, Malayappa Swami, also known as Utsava Bairam, is the processional deity, Utsava Bairam, of the temple. He is always accompanied by the deities of his consorts, Sridevi and Bhadevi. Snapana means cleansing. This deity celebrates all festivals, including Brahmotsavam, Kalyanotsavam, Dolotsavam, Vasantotsavam, Padmavati Paranayotsavam, Sahasra Dipalankarana Seva, Pushpapalaki, Anivara Asthanam, and Nigati Asthanam, among others. Kalova Srimavasa or Bali Baram. Kalova Srimavasa addresses Bali Baram. Kalova Srimavasa is regarded as the temple's guardian deity and presides over its economic and financial affairs. Kalova Seva every day, Telugu, the morning Kalovu, which translates to engaged in, is a ceremony in which accounts of the previous day's offerings, income, and expenditures are presented to this deity. In addition, Panchanga Sravanam is conducted at the same time that specific days, Tithi, sunrise and sunset times, and nakshatras are communicated to Venkateswara. Other Murthy forms. Alongside Pancha Bhairams, the Garbhagriha likewise has the Panchaloha divinities of Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, Rukmini, Krishna, and Chakrati Alvar.I and their respective sub-shrines, the deities of Garuda, Vishnu's vehicle, Narasimha, Varadaraja, Kabura, and Hanuman are housed in the temple. The deities of Sugriva, Ramanuj, Vishwaksena, and Shisha, Vishnu's serpent, are also housed in the temple. The replica of Venkateswara that is carved into the second-tier northwest corner of the Ananda Nilayam Vyamana is known as Vimana Venkateswara. Worship. Puja. The temple adheres to the worship style known as Vaikhanasa Agama, which was said to have been revealed by sage Vaikhanasa and is propagated by his disciples Atri, Bhrigu, Marichi, and Kasayapa. One of Hinduism's most important traditions, Vaikhanasa primarily worships Vishnu and his avatars as the supreme god. This ancient text suggests performing puja, worship, for Vishnu 6 times per day, with at least one puja required. There are 3 types of rituals: daily, weekly, and periodic. Suprabhata Seva, Tamala Seva, Archana, Kalyanatsavam, Dolatsavam, Anjal Seva, Arjita Brahmatsavam, Arjita Vasanthatsavam, Sahasra Dipalankarana Seva, and Ekanta Seva are the temple's daily sevas in that order of occurrence. Vishesha Puja occurs on Monday, Ashtadala Pada Padmaradana occurs on Tuesday, Sahasra Kalasabhishekam occurs on Wednesday, Tirupavada Seva occurs on Thursday, Abhishekam and Nijapada Darshanam occurs on Friday, and so on. On Saturday and Sunday of each week, there are no sevas. Jayeshta Abhishekam, Anuwara Asthanam, Pavathratsavam, and Koil Alwar Tirumanjanam are periodic rituals. Naivediyam. At the Tirumala Temple, the renowned Tirupati Laddu is served as prasadam. Only Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams is permitted to produce or sell Tirupati Laddu, which carries a geographical indication tag. Annaprasadams and Panurams are 2 other categories of prasadams that are presented to Venkateswara. Annaprasadams include sweet chakra pongal, tamarind rice pulihora, miriyala pongal, kadambam, and curd rice dadajanam, laddu, veda, dosa, appam, jalebi, murukku, pali, and payasam are examples of panurams. The pilgrims receive daily free meals. The Tirupavada Seva is performed on Thursdays, when a large quantity of pulihora is heaped into a pyramid in Tirumani Mandapam, Gunta Mandapam, and presented to Venkateswara. Darshan. Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam constructed 2 Vaikuntham queue complexes to accommodate the large number of devotees who visited the temple, one in the year 1983 and one in the year 2000, respectively. Vaikuntham line buildings have rooms where enthusiasts can sit and hold on until their chance for darshan. As per custom, a fan needs to have a darshan of Bhuvaraha Swami sanctuary lying on the northern banks of Master Pushkarini before having a darshan of Venkateswara in the primary sanctuary. As of late, the organization presented a different line for person-on-foot travelers. Pilgrims receive free but limited, biometric tokens to access this exclusive line. Tokens are given out according to a first-come, first-served policy. The token allows the pilgrims to worship Venkateswara during the allotted times. 2 sections focus on the trail pioneers, Srivari Metu and Alapai Metu. Srivari Metu is open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., whereas Alapai Metu is open all day. Tonsuring the hair. As an offering to God, many devotees have their heads tonsured as maku. Over a ton of hair is collected each day. The temple makes a lot of money when the hair is collected and sold around the world. According to legend, a small portion of Venkateswara's scalp went bald when a cowherd struck him on the head. Neela Devi, a Gandharv princess, noticed this. She cut off some of her hair right away and used her magic to put it on his scalp. Her offering was noticed by Venkateswara. He promised her that all of his devotees who visited his home would bring their hair to him and that she would receive all of the hair. Hair is a beautiful feature of the female form. Therefore, it is believed that devotees' hair is accepted by Neela Devi. Her name is Niladri, and it is one of the 7 hills. Men of the Nai caste were traditionally hired to perform tonsillectomy barbering, which resulted in some discrimination and did not satisfy women's requests for a female barber. The objections were overturned by a protest led by Kanaganapalli Radha Devi, and the temple agreed to hire a women barber. In 2017, Andhra Pradesh honored Devi, and in 2019, the Indian president bestowed upon her the Nari Shakti Puraskar, Hundi, or pot for donations. According to legend, Srinivasa was said to have had to plan his wedding. For his marriage to Padmavati, Kabura gave money to Venkateswara, a form of the god Vishnu. Srinivasa asked Kabura for a loan of 1 crore and 11.4 million, 11,400,000, gold coins. He also asked Vishwakarma, the divine architect, to make the Sheshadri hills look like heaven. Srinivasa and Padmavati lived forever together, but goddess Lakshmi chose to live forever in Vishnu's heart because she understood his obligations. In memory of this, devotees travel to Tirupati to make monetary contributions to Venkateswara's Hundi, donation pot, which he uses to repay Kabura. The Hundi assortments go as high as 22.5 million Indian rupees daily. Thalabaram. A devotee performs the Thalabaram ritual by sitting on a pan of a weighing balance while the other pan is filled with objects that are heavier than the devotee. Sugar, jaggery, tulsi leaves, banana, gold, and coins are typically presented by devotees. Most of the time, this is done with kids or newborns. Festivals. Over 433 festivals are held in the Venkateswara temple every day of the year, earning it the name Nityakalyanam Paksha Toranam, which means that every day is a festival. The most important event at the Venkateswara temple is Shree Venkateshwara Brahmotsavams, which take place every year in October and last for 9 days. The processional deity Malayappa, along with his consorts Sri Devi and Bhudevi, are taken in a procession on various vahanams during Brahmotsavams. Dwajarohanam, Pedda Sesha Vahanam, Chinna Sesha Vahanam, Hamsa Vahanam, Simha Vahanam, Mithyapu Pandiri Vahanam, Kalpavriksha Vahanam, Sarva Bhupala Vahanam, Mohini Avataram, Garuda Vahanam, Hanumanta Vahanam, Swarna Rathotsavam, Golden Chariot, Gaja Vahanam, Rathotsavam, Chariot, Ashwa Vahanam, and Chakra Snanam. The temple will host thousands of devotees during Brahmotsavams, particularly on Garuda Vahanam. Tirumala celebrates Vaikuntha Ekadasi, the most important Vaishnavite festival, on the day that it is believed that Vaikuntha Dwaram will open. On a single day, up to 150,000 devotees will flood the Tirumala Venkateswara temple to receive darshan of Venkateswara through a unique entrance known as Vaikuntha Dwaram, which encircles the inner sanctum. Another festival in February is Ratha Sapthami, when Venkateswara's processional deity, Malayappa, is paraded around the temple on 7 different vahanams from early in the morning until late at night. Rama Navami, Janmashtami, Ugadi, Tepitsavam, Float Festival, Sri Padmavati Paranayotsavams, Pushpa Yagna, Pushpa Palaki, and Vasantotsavam, Spring Festival, which took place in March and April, were the other annual festivals that were celebrated with great splendor. Hymns and songs. In the Sanctum Sanctorum of Tirumala Temple, Venkateswara Suprabhatam is the first pre-dawn seva performed on Venkateswara. Suprabhatam, which means good morning in Sanskrit, is intended to awaken the Lord from his celestial sleep. The Venkateswara Suprabhatam hymns were written in the 13th century by Prathavadi Byankaram Anangaracharya. They are made up of 70 slokas and are divided into 4 parts: Suprabhatam, Stotram, Prapati, and Mangalasasanam. The following is the 13th sloka of the Venkateswara Suprabhatam. Ramanabhavara Kalaloka Bandho. Srisrinivase Jagadikade Kasindho. Radavat Gabha Jaintaradivyamrit. Raviki Kalapate Tava Suprabhatam. Translation: One with Lakshmi. One who grants boons. Friend of all the worlds. Abode of Sri Lakshmi. The matchless ocean of compassion. One has a charming form on account of the chest which is the abode of Sri Lakshmi. Lord of Venkateshwara. May it be an auspicious dawn to thee. 13. Talapaka Anamakarya, Annamaya, a 14th century poet and saint who was a great devotee of Venkateswara and one of the greatest Telugu poets, sang 32,000 songs in his honor. Sringara Sankirthanalu and Adhyatma Sankirthanalu are the names given to all of his songs in Telugu and Sanskrit, which are referred to as Sankirtanas. The 7 mountains. There are 7 hills surrounding the temple. Saptagirisha, also known as the Lord of 7 Hills, is another name for the presiding deity. The 7 hills, also known as Saptagiri, are said to represent Adisesha's 7 hoods. These are the 7 hills. Vrishabhadri, hill of Vrishabhasura, who was killed by Srimavasa. Anjanadri, hill of Hanuman. Niladri, hill of Neela Devi. Garudadri or Garudakalam, hill of Garuda, the Vahana of Vishnu. Sheshadri or Seshakalam, hill of Sesha, the Dasa of Vishnu. Narayanadri, hill of Narayana. Srivari Padalu, footprints of Venkateswara, are located here. Venkatadri, hill of Venkateswara. Sub-shrines. Varadaraja Temple. In Vimana Pradakshinam, to the left of Vendavakili, the silver entrance, there is a small shrine that is dedicated to Varadaraja. This deity's installation date is unknown. The stone god is sitting with his back to the west. Yoga Narasimha Temple. In the Vimana Pradakshina's northeast corner, there is a shrine to Narasimha. The Yoga Narasimha is depicted sitting cross-legged, bound by a yoga pada, and holding Shankha and Chakra in the upper 2 hands and 2 lower hands in the Yoga Mudra. It is believed that the shrine was constructed between 1330 and 1360 AD. Garuth Mantha Temple. Just opposite the Bangaravakili, golden entrance, of Jaya Vijaya is a small shrine dedicated to Garuda, Venkateswara's vehicle. A component of the Garuda Mandapam is this sub-shrine. The 6-foot-tall Garuth Mantha deity stands in front of Venkateswara in Garbhagriha and faces west. Bhuvaraha Swamy Temple. The temple dedicated to Varha, an incarnation of Vishnu, is the Bhuvaraha Swamy Temple. It is thought that this temple is older than the Venkateswara temple. The temple is on Swami Pushkarini's northern banks. Naivediyam is traditionally first offered to Bhuvaraha Swamy before being offered to Venkateswara in the main temple. Furthermore, according to custom, fans ought to have the darshan of Bhuvaraha Swamy before Venkateswara. Baidianjanaya Temple. The Hanuman-themed sub-shrine is Baidianjanaya Temple. Near Akalandam, where coconuts are offered, the temple is directly opposite Mahadwaram. In this temple, the deity is handcuffed with both hands, Telugu, Bedalu. Vakulamatha Sunni. Vakulamatha is the mother of Venkateswara. In front of the Varadaraja shrine, in the main temple, there is a statue of her. The deity appears to be sitting. According to legend, she oversees the preparation of food for her son. As a result, Srivari Potu, kitchen, and Vakulamatha Sunli are separated by a gap in the wall. Kabura Sunli. The Vimana Pradakshinam contains a Kabura-themed sub-shrine. The god is on the right side of Garbhagriha and looks south toward the god who rules. Ramanuj Shrine. The Vimana Pradakshinam's northern corridor is adjacent to the Sri Ramanuj Shrine. The Bhashyakara Sannidhi is another name for it. The shrine was constructed around the 13th century AD. Famous devotees. The most significant acharya of Sri Vaishnavism was Ramanuj, 1017 to 1137, that was in charge of running the Venkateswara temple's worship procedures and other businesses. During his visit, he is credited with giving Vishnu's holy conch and discus as gifts. As a result, he is regarded as an individual acharya, or teacher. The Peddajiyar Madam was established by him. In the Sri Ananthayalwr temple, he has a sannidhi or shrine. Padakavita Pitamaha statue by Sri Talapaka Animakarya, or Annamaya, the official song master of the Tirumala Venkateswara Temple. Talapaka Animakarya, or Annamaya, was a Telugu composer who wrote approximately 36,000 kirtanas, many of which were in praise of Venkateswara, the temple's presiding deity. He was born on May 22, 1408. Saint Hadhiram Bavaji was from Ayodhya. He went on a pilgrimage to Tirumala around 1500 CE, where he became a devotee of Venkateswara. Relevance to religion. One of the 8 Swayambhu Kshetras of Vishnu, the temple is thought to be where the presiding deity is said to have appeared on its own. Srirangam Ranganathaswamy Temple, Bhuvarha Swami Temple, Vanamamalai Perumal Temple, Shaligram Temple in Nepal, Naimisharanya Temple, Pushkar Temple, and Badrinath Temple in North India are the remaining 7 temples in line. Alvars revere the temple in Divya Prabandham. One of the 108 Vishnu temples mentioned in these books, the temple is categorized as a Divayadesam. The Rig Veda and Ashtadesa Puranas talk about the benefits of going on a pilgrimage to Venkatachla. Venkateswara is portrayed as the great giver of blessings in these epics. The appearance of the Tirumala has been the subject of numerous legends. Temples in the nearby area. Tirumala is close to numerous ancient temples. Sri Padmavati Temple is a temple in Tirukanur, 5 kilometers from Tirupati, that is dedicated to Padmavati, Venkateswara's wife. Srikalahasteswara Temple, which is dedicated to Shiva and represents the Vayu, air, form of the elements of nature, is located 38 kilometers from Tirupati at Srikalahasti. Sri Varasiddhi Vinayaka Temple, 75 kilometers from Tirupati and located in Kanipakam town, is a temple built in the 10th century and dedicated to Vinayaka. In addition, the city of Tirupati is home to the Govindaraja Temple, the Kalyana Venkateswara Temple, Srimavasa Mangapuram, the Kodandarama Temple, and the Kapila Tirtham. Connectivity. Nearest airport, Tirupati International Airport. Distance, 38.2 kilometers from Tirupati Airport to Shree Venkateshwara Vaari Temple. Nearest rail station, Tirupati Central Railway Station. Distance, 24.7 kilometers from rail station to Shree Venkateshwara Vaari Temple. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching till the end. If you liked the video, don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. Hari Aum.